Did we say anything funny enough to even be an intro?
I don't know.
I'm sure there was something on there.
We could just use this. This is pretty funny.
Okay.
Who goes there?
Oh, it's you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar. Welcome to the Scumm Bar.
There, now we got something funny.
Yeah, that really
there we
threw me
go.
off.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, paninis, and everything in between.
Or pupaninis.
Pumperninis. I'm your host, Mattbrush, and with me today is a special guest, my co-host.
I was trying to think of a different name, but I couldn't because you kept gesturing something, and I'm like, wait, I'm me though. Anth0z.
I'm me.
I'm
Hello,
still
Anth0z.
me.
Welcome.
Welcome to my home.
Oh, yes. Scumm Bar Podcast, everybody. Hello and welcome.
Goodbye.
We are, just a humble little podcast that likes to talk about everything.
Humble scumble.
Humble scumbles. How you been?
Good. Wait, I'm still trying to figure out what pumpanini's are.
Oh, I meant paninis.
Are they like
did I write that or you write that?
I didn't write that.
Oh, I must
so
have
that's
wrote
probably
it. It's
you.
weird. I think I wrote it wrong because it's just as I was trying to read that, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So my brain just kind of
It's one of those days. Well, you did tell me beforehand that it was going to be one of those days. So I'm
little sleep.
looking
I did a
forward
lot
to
of
this.
coding. I did a lot of work. A lot of meetings. Worked late. Lots of phone calls. Yeah, my brain is fried. But we have podcasting to do, so podcasting we shall.
Let's cast those pods.
Do you want to hear a joke?
Yep.
Let me actually read the joke and see if I remember the punchline.
Okay.
What do you call a pirate with 4 eyes?
4 eyes. Pirate with glasses?
I believe the punchline was pirate.
Okay.
Yep.
Pirate? Like, is it?
No, I just was trying to make the word longer, and then I ended up saying rat instead of rat.
Okay.
Pirate.
I was picturing a rat
Rat.
just holding a bunch of pie.
The word pirate is weird. I just realized.
Pirate?
Yeah, pirate. What is rat?
No, but it's pirate.
Yeah,
it's
it
actually
should
no.
be pirate.
It's actually should be pirate. You know, Pilates, right? But it's pirate.
Pirate. But pirate.
Pirate? That's how you pronounce it?
That's how I say it.
Pirate. I go
He's a pirate.
I say Pay.
Pay.
Wait, so
P-Y-E, pie?
P-A-W-Y Pirate. Rit. R-E-I-T. Rit.
W-R-I-T? Rit?
W-R... Rit. No, there's no W.
Pirate should actually be how it's pronounced.
No, Pirati. I told you.
But that is strange how it's spelled. But whatever, that doesn't matter. Anyways, yes,
Pirate.
pirate.
It's pirate.
That's the joke. That's the punchline.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Ye old news.
Great.
So I don't know. We didn't talk about this, but did you watch the Lion King trailer?
Oh, I did.
It got like crazy views. It's just under Infinity War. Infinity War has the most.
I'm gonna say it's just under infinity views. I'm like, how does YouTube? How do they check that?
There's like
Is
an
that
infinity in the
possible?
left hand symbol.
Yeah. Wow.
Infinity War got the most amount of views for a trailer ever, I believe. And this got like second.
Wow.
So like Disney's killing it right now. Like that's crazy.
Well, it's also the specific movie. Like it's the one that everybody that knows Disney, that grew up with Disney, knows this movie, right? That was not the best grammar ever, but you understand what I mean.
Anth0z,
Mattbrush.
what are your thoughts on the trailer?
What are my thoughts? I'm trying to think back to when I watched it. Was it pretty much the whole it's like the whole first 5 minutes of the original movie, wasn't it? Pretty much. That was the trailer.
To me, it looked like a shot-for-shot remake.
It was, which is kind of cool because when I expect to see a CGI remake or any kind of remake, I don't really expect to see shot-for-shot kind of scenes.
I'm surprised you said CGI remake there. Most people are saying live action. And
that's right.
I say
Yeah.
live action too, but it's not actually live action. It's CGI.
Right.
See, you were actually correct. But most of us are going like, oh, the live action Disney remakes, right? But it's not live action at all, right? It's CGI.
Well, no, I mean maybe some.
Or, I mean, they probably film on location or something, or do some sort of photo imagery and then backdrop stuff. But
yeah,
it's made in a lab. It's a test tube, baby.
They probably get, what's the term, secondary footage of just like animals grazing in the yard. But no, the trailer
again.
Yeah, no, I thought the trailer was fine. Like, it was a nice. What I don't like about trailers these days is they reveal so much and they kind of take away from what you see in the theaters when you finally go to watch it. So what I liked about this trailer,
I was just thinking about how Darth Vader was his father in the end of the movie. So much.
Well, okay, so with with this one, if it is in fact shot for shot for what I remember, I liked that because that kind of makes sense for like teasing.
Yeah.
Like they'll have a teaser trailer and then they'll have the official trailer, whatever. But this one was really just like, it's a teaser because they're showing you exactly like a remake of the original movie, and you don't know how else you don't know what the rest of the movie is going to look like. What? Am I repeating myself over and over again?
No, I'm trying not to laugh. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just that last time we were recording, I was doing that same thing as pouring water, and I didn't realize it picks up on the mic.
Oh.
I'm just trying to empty this thing, so I keep drinking and then trying to fill it.
I have a Brita filter.
No, I'm trying to empty my water bottle so that it's empty, right? So it's not water constantly in it.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, I realized like every time you're trying to make a point on something in the background, you just hear this water.
Somebody's just peeing in the background.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, so I'm trying not to laugh. Anyways, I'm sorry about that. Distracted you too much. Continue.
Okay, so when I was tagged on Facebook, and that's how I knew about the trailer. Tagged. Like bop it. Tag it.
Tag it.
Facebook.
Spin it.
Yeah. Twitter.
Tweet it.
Insta it. So that's how I knew that it was published, that the trailer was available. And then I just don't know the word to use. Uploaded?
Guys, you see the new published trailers?
Wow, what a great publishing act. Anyway, so I thought I wasn't like hooked on it as soon as I saw the trailer. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I have to see this. It wasn't watching more of it didn't make me want to watch it more. Just the fact that there was a trailer and telling me that, oh, it's coming, makes me want to watch it. But then when I heard James Earl Jones' voice at the end, I was like, yep.
What did he say? Remember? So he says, remember.
Yeah. He says, I think he says pretty much the same quote as in from the original movie. Right?
I'm assuming he came back in and redid the lines, but part of me is just like, man, you probably could have just like grabbed the audio from the old movie and like threw it in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe they are to some parts of it. I'm not really too sure. It almost seems though as if it is shot for shot, so they could just bring back the original actors.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like it's weird that it's shot for shot, but at the same time, Beauty and the Beast. Now I wasn't really too up on the source material. I did watch the cartoon one before going and seeing the live action one.
Yeah.
With Emma Watson.
Yep. Emma Watson.
Watson.
Yeah. Hermione. Emma Granger.
So the movie was not shot for shot, but a lot of it seemed quite similar. Like,
yeah, the whole opening really was too. Actually.
Yeah, the opening seemed like that was shot for shot, but then like there was lots of scenes that are almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like the same things happen, just not, I guess, the same shot. But the same
things happen, but not the same shot.
What I meant to say though is that Beauty and the Beast adds more story to it though. A lot of it is about her and her dad.
Oh yeah.
And they go off on like tangents and adventures and stuff like that to kind of show more, pad out the story a little bit more on her and her father. I thought it just added more to the characters. I thought that was cool. I think the Beast even has an additional song in that than what he did in the movie. He has that one when she's running away. He's I look at you and you're still there.
Keep going.
And I know she'll never leave me.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't really know the lyrics, but something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So they added like story to it, right? So I'm thinking with Lion King, maybe it's like shot for shot, but then they're gonna add like, I would assume Nala, is that her name? The other chick?
Was she in the first movie? Oh, she was in the first.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
She's the one who brings him back.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking Kiara. Sorry, yeah.
Is that his daughter?
No, yeah. Kiara's the daughter in the second
sequel.
movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming if they're going to add any more, it's probably more with him and Nala, just because she has less of a story, I think, in the first one. And the trend of today is to give girls more of a scene, I guess, or more story in movies. So I would assume that we're going to see more Nala and Simba doing things, probably.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That's my guess. So I think it probably is going to be shot for shot, but on top of that, there will be additional footage and maybe additional music or something. Well, I guess that's a question too. Is it confirmed that it's the music?
That it is the music? What do you mean?
From Lion King, the original? Like, is it the same music? I would assume it is. But...
I don't know. I think they would redo some, wouldn't they?
Well, I mean, like, same songs though, right? Like, they're going to sing Circle of Life, I would assume, right? Like,
oh, I get what you mean.
They're going to sing Can't Wait to Be King.
I think there are some that they have to have.
Yeah.
Right?
I would assume. But I guess we haven't got that confirmed yet, do we?
I don't know. I've never had that confirmed prior to watching a movie, so I wouldn't know where to look.
Well, Jungle Book had... Because Jungle Book was Jon Favreau as well, wasn't it? I think he directed that, and then he's directing this, Lion King, right? So, and Jungle Book did have that one song by Baloo.
Bare Necessities?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so they did sing that. So I mean, I would assume they'll go all out. But there's so many good songs. Because like, what about Kuna Matata? Like,
they have to do a Kuna Matata.
And Timon and Pumbaa are Seth Rogen and someone else. I'm assuming Seth Rogen's Pumbaa. I saw his names in the credits, so I'm like, he's got to be Pumbaa.
Oh shoot.
I know.
Wait, who did it originally? Like Billy Crystal or something?
Pumbaa?
No, Timon. Sorry.
Timon was that one guy with Matthew Broderick in The Producers. That same actor. I can't remember his name right now. Because Matthew Broderick played Simba, and then he plays.
Matthew Broderick was Simba?
Yeah, older.
He was older Simba.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the boy was that kid. He plays Sora in all the Kingdom Hearts games.
And yeah.
And he's also the kid from AI, I think. I think it's the same little boy from AI.
From AI?
Yeah. Or no, I think I have the boy mixed up now. No, I think it's the same kid. Do you remember that movie AI?
No, no. Oh, wait. No, that's not the same kid as. Are you talking about Haley Joel Osment? That's not the same one, right?
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Was it not Haley Joel Osment?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I thought he was Simba.
No. That was Jonathan Taylor Thomas in the original Lion King movie.
Yeah.
The kid.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Thomas.
The kid from Tool Time.
From Home Improvement. Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So who plays Kingdom Hearts guy, Sora? Is it still him?
I don't know, actually.
Tool Time kid? I thought it was Haley Joel Osment. Wow.
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, who knows now? Maybe it's the kid from Home Alone. Who knows?
Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah.
Or maybe his brother. Sorry, I just thought about something. Did we talk about the Did we talk about the Detective Pikachu trailer? Was it last episode?
That was last week.
Last week? So, did we talk about...
No, that was 2 weeks ago. Last week we didn't have any news.
Oh, okay, right. So, what did we talk about the whole fur on Jigglypuff fiasco thing?
No. What's up with that?
So, okay, you know when you watch the cartoon, like Jigglypuff looks like she's...
Round.
Well, yeah.
Smooth.
But yes. Yeah. She's round and smooth. She's like our microphones. But when you look at her, what do you picture her
feeling like?
Skin, yeah.
A balloon.
Like a balloon, exactly. So like rubbery.
Yeah.
And she even like inflates herself, right? Like she'll hold her breath and she'll get
like a smooth fish.
Like Kirby.
I assume a lot of the Pokemon feel like smooth fish.
Like smooth fish. Yeah. Okay.
What's a smooth fish? Like not a salmon.
Like sashimi?
Sure.
Like wait, alive?
I'm thinking like a real fish.
Okay.
Not like food.
They feel like they feel scaly and slimy, don't they?
How about like a rubber beanbag? Or like a beanbag that you can like squish and like form, but it's really stiff and it's got like beans in it.
Yeah. I think
it's got that rubber texture on the outside. You can like rip the rubber and then the beans would go all flying everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It's like a balloon texture on the outside, but it's like a stiff, firm.
It's like a tense, like a tension
I feel like
ball.
if you were to squish Jigglypuff,
that's what
it would feel like that, like a really firm, like a rubber sand bag.
Right. The reason I bring this up is because, well, for one, a lot of people were hating on the fact that in the trailer, Jigglypuff was like it's all fur. Like
I don't remember that, but that sounds vaguely familiar. And I almost felt that uncanniness with every Pokemon we saw in there. Like
they all had a bit of fur
even
or something.
Charizard at the end, it shows Charizard. And I know it's supposed to be this moment where you're like, oh my god, Charizard live action.
Yeah.
And there's some cool things, like the flames from what I remember. But there's something off about him. There was something off about all of them. Like all of them were a little bit weird just seeing them in real life. I think Pikachu was the only one that seemed like, oh, I get it. Like
I feel like it's because we've just seen more Pikachu or something. But Pikachu, did it have fur? He did have fur.
Yeah, I think Pikachu.
Yeah, it must.
But you know when you see like those DeviantArt photos of like a Pokemon in real life, that's the most terrifying thing ever because it's like, oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah, but those are cool.
Well, some of them are. The ones I have in my house, those are actually really nice.
Yeah, that's right.
But those are like done in a cutesy way still.
Yeah.
And these are kind of like that, but they're just like you're seeing them all 3D, and it's, I don't know. I've liked it.
Yeah. Well, okay. So people were saying obviously like they expected what you had described, like balloon-like, like that kind of leathery feeling. And so people were pissed off that Jigglypuff is all furry and stuff. And one person made a good comment, I thought, and they said, you know, Jigglypuff has always had this kind of swirly thing, like on her head, which obviously, like, it must be some sort of hair. And I think he said, like, how weird would that be if that swirly thing was leather? And, like, that was the same as the rest of her skin.
That's a very good call.
So then I actually thought about Jigglypuff specifically when I watched, so this is relating back to the Lion King trailer, when Rafiki was rubbing the powder on Simba's forehead. So as he was actually rubbing it, you could see like the fur was moving, and then I realized like, oh, in the cartoon movie, like when he does it, you don't see any particles, like any hair particles or whatever texture moving. It's just like, it looks like his skin is flat. And so then my argument now to go back to the whole Jigglypuff thing is like, in the cartoon, you have no idea what it should be. Even if it is fur, you can't really tell just by like looking at a 2D version of it. So like there's no reason not to expect that it does have fur in this like 3D world. Anyway, I didn't really need to talk about that, but
I think people are mad. They're taking that as a specific point, the Jigglypuff thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually more broad than that. I think they're actually just mad seeing their creations definitively stated as this is what it would look like in real life.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody wants to see that. I don't want to see what Goku would look like in real life, you know? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. I saw that Dragon Ball movie and it was awful. And,
that does not count.
No. And you know, you don't want the amazingness to be ruined.
Right.
And sometimes it worked, like
Ryuk
in the crappy Death Note movie on Netflix. Ryuk was done really well, but in my opinion, it's because he was exactly the same as he was in the anime. He was he was almost 2-dimensional. He was so good. But to make the Detective Pikachu movie and pour all that money into it, like they clearly were trying. They're saying this is the definitive look, and if we make a if we make any more in this universe, then this is how it's going to look from now on, right? So yeah. What were we talking about? We were talking about...
the old news.
Yeah, no, we were talking about Lion King.
Well, my question to you is, what did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, it's too early to tell. Kind of like what you were saying. Yeah, I'm honestly... I saw the trailer and went, oh. That's the first time I've felt... It was weird. I don't like this feeling, but I watched the trailer and was like, oh, it's just that's what it will look like, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I took it for granted probably. Like, I really should be excited. I should be happier about it.
Yeah.
But I finished that trailer and was just kind of like, okay.
That's fair.
But I think it's because it was shot for shot. Like, maybe they needed to show something I hadn't seen before or something like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Aladdin trailer was kind of just random scenes, and that was interesting too.
There was an Aladdin trailer? What? For what? Wait, is that new too? Did that just come out?
Yeah, have you not seen that? Remember there was the lamp teaser?
Oh,
it showed the lamp, and then there was the actual trailer, and it showed like locations.
I have not seen the trailer for that one either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking I must have missed a live action Aladdin movie that was just like in the past 5 years.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. I don't know. I just haven't been super excited for that one either, and I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just waiting for the right thing. Maybe I just need to see it.
I think you just need to see it.
It's just a trailer, so it's hard to like know.
We're in just trailer meta right now, where everybody's
trailer mania.
Look at like, you know, everybody's got to have like the most spectacular trailer so that they can draw you in. But I don't know. The fact of the matter is, with Lion King, there's already a following. They wouldn't really need to make a super over dramatic trailer.
Yeah.
They don't have to spoil anything because everybody knows the plot already.
Yeah.
It's really just for people to see a remastered version and like relive their childhood, but in like a new form, like a new platform, which is CGI.
Yep. Well, that's our thoughts for now. We'll see what we think when we see the movie.
Yes.
Moving on, thought taxes. By the way, have you heard of this meme, thoughts?
I have. Yeah, but
I never heard of it. I called them tea-hots, and then I called them tots, and then I found out the correct pronunciation is apparently thoughts.
Thoughts.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot what it... Does it stand for something?
That hoe over there.
Yeah. That's right.
Did you hear about this? They're getting taxed. The IRS is going after the
thoughts?
The thoughts.
What?
Because I guess the IRS is starting to crack down, this is in the States, but they're starting to crack down more on unclaimed currency or unclaimed earnings, I guess.
I'm so lost. Wait, what?
So thoughts in the sense of Twitch girls or streamers. Or girls.
Oh, I didn't know that that's what it was.
So they're not always, but I think that's commonly when you're calling a girl a thought. the joke is usually just one of those girls on Twitch that is like dressed really skimpily clad and stuff and is making all this money off of people just like donating and stuff.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so what's happening recently is the IRS is they're claiming all this money, but they're not paying their taxes. They're just getting money for this, right? So the IRS is starting to crack down on it. And these girls, sometimes they'll offer premium Snapchats, is I guess where this whole thing started. So they offer for $25 extra, or if you pay them $25, they'll give you a premium Snapchat of them, and then they show you like premium pictures and stuff in the Snapchat, right?
Whoa.
So they were making lots of money from this, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, now what's happening is this is kind of this war now, which is hilarious because it's just another one of those things, and guys are going online and trying to get the girl to admit that she's got a premium service for them. So she'll be like, yeah, it's just $25 and here's like my premium thing, and then he'll be like, great, like I just reported you to the IRS.
What?
So then the IRS will come in and then claim all this tax money off of her, and there's actually an incentive for it. So there's a monetary incentive. The IRS is giving people 30% of the claimed taxes that they get from these women.
What?
They'll take 30% of the claimed taxes and give it to the person that found them out.
And then are those taxable?
Maybe, I don't know. But it's so funny. So now there's all these guys out there that are like baiting these women. It's almost reversed, right? They're like baiting the women to admit that they're doing this, and then they're claiming, or then they're sending this information off to the IRS. So it's all over the place.
It's kind of funny, but it's so screwed up. Like, why is this a thing?
I personally, I think the profession is a little bit weird anyways. I get that girls can do that, and I'm not really blaming them at all. I mean, they're just capitalizing on a market that...
True.
I understand why people pay the money. I understand why the girls do it. I just think the girls that don't claim the taxes on it are not thinking totally. I don't think you should make a career out of that anyways.
Yeah.
But if you are trying to make money that way, I think you got to be legit on that kind of stuff anyways. You have to take it all very seriously. Yeah. And I'm sure there are some that do. Some probably saw this and laughed at the whole thing, or like just
because they're already on top of it.
They do claim it. Yeah. They probably call it entertainment or something like that and claim it, but regardless, it's kind of funny because this kind of thing has probably been going for years, forever.
Oh yeah.
You know? I mean, centuries of just like women doing this, and then eventually the crown wants some of the payment. And, that's all this is, but it's just so funny how it's breaking down the internet. You got these white knight guys going out there trying to like defend the honor of these women, and you got these other guys coming just trying to get them to admit it and sending them to the IRS. So.
But this is only happening in the States though?
I've only heard about the IRS doing the monetary incentive and all that. I haven't searched anywhere else in the world to see if there's other ones claiming this. I believe it's only in America. Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah,
who would have thought that this is the kind of thing that would come up as like a situation in life?
I know.
Wow.
It's interesting.
Was
Is that my boss?
he figured he's hearing us live, and that's why he's like, oh, I'm going to call the other guy.
I don't mean to, just for anybody listening, just so you know, if I'm sounding weird, it's because my boss keeps calling me on all my phones, and I told him I was busy, but now I'm getting distracted. So.
And I told Mattbrush not to pick it up. He's not allowed during this time. He's mine.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me if this is funny or not. I said
no.
The Grimes of Grindelwald. I don't know why I found that so funny.
I like it. The Grimes of Cringewald.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, skip my topic. So we are gonna talk about Rocky because I went and saw Creed 2 at the Theatra just recently here with my brothar, and we both watched the first Creed the night before, and then went immediately into Creed 2, and that was perfect.
Ooh,
it was like
so that's what everybody else should do.
Well, it's just like a 1-2 combo. That's how you do it. You just got to go one then the other. So
you got to watch it as if you're actually in the match, like 1-2.
Yeah,
1-2.
Exactly. 1-2. Yeah, that's how you do it. Now, I don't necessarily want to spend the whole time talking about Creed, and in fact, I'm not going to spend any time talking about Creed because, as we discussed just before recording, you have not seen Creed 2 yet, and I do not want to spoil the series. I take Creed as an extension of the Rocky series, so I do call them like Rocky movies.
I see.
But they've successfully like rebooted the series, which is interesting because I don't know many other series that have done it in this successful of a way.
Okay.
But in my opinion, I think all the Rocky movies hold up. And that's kind of controversial because 5 and 6 people look down on a little bit.
Yeah, I can see why.
I mean, 5 people definitely look down on 5.
For sure.
And for good reason people look down on 5.
Yeah.
And then 6, I think people kind of thought this is getting old. Like, why do you need to keep making them?
Yeah.
But the thing that makes Rocky so good is that they keep trying to end it. Every single movie tries to end it.
Yeah.
Even the first movie, he tries to end it. Like, if you go back and watch the first Rocky, in that movie, he's like washed out already.
Yeah.
And like Mickey's all just like, you're a has-been. You could have been great, but you spent all your life just doing whatever. And it's just like, you would have been amazing, but now it's too late.
Yeah.
In the first movie, it's like, oh my god. And then it's like, it just kept going after that. But those movies are so good.
Oh yeah.
But I want to ask you personally.
Nobody else. So no, you're not gonna ask anybody else personally.
No.
Just me.
What is your favorite Rocky movie?
3, 4.
Cool, okay.
4. It's 4.
Why?
Oh,
I'm shocked you said 3 then 4. I'll tell you later, but you go ahead.
No, I said 3 by accident, thinking that the 4th one was the 3rd one. That's why.
Okay.
It's always like the concept of 4, like that storyline.
Yeah.
Was something about it. I just wait, before I forget, when you mentioned Rocky, I wanted to mention that I went to watch with my fiance VSO, but the night was called Hollywood Sings. So it was a tribute to movie themes.
Oh, Vancouver Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Sorry. Vancouver Symphony Orchestra at the Orpheum.
Yeah.
And so they had 2 nights in a row that were dedicated to Hollywood Sings. So they had a maestro from Florida came in.
Maestro.
Maestro. I guess that's kind of our friends thing.
Well, we need a friends thing every episode, so there it is.
We'll get one. We'll get one.
Okay.
And then they had a girl from Nashville that came in to sing some of the songs. So most of them were instrumental, but she sang some like she sang "Let It Go" by Frozen. She sang oh shoot, what did she sing?
I can't help you.
That's fine.
I can't help you there.
That's okay. So they did they did a whole bunch of movies, and it was so fun hearing them live, like live orchestra, just like playing all these movies, songs that some that I knew, some that I don't. But they paid homage to like the very first Academy Award winning score, which was from I think 1934. Was it from A Gay Divorcee? I think that's what the movie was called. I can't. Though the song might have been called like Continental or something. Anyway, so they played stuff like Ghostbusters. They did this whole tribute, like it was like a 5-minute tribute where they played songs from 21 different movies.
Whoa.
So you would just kind of hear like snippets, and then they played like 3 seconds of Jaws, for example, and then they played and then they played a part of it was they played the Rocky thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, like,
wait,
that was awesome.
There's a few though. Like, did they?
Eye of the Tiger.
Okay.
Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, Eye of the Tiger. Okay, so that's actually the theme to 3.
Oh.
Only 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
I could be wrong here, so don't take this fully, but I think the song was written for the movie.
I thought it was
I
2.
think Eye of the Tiger was written for 3 because 3, that's the theme of 3. Is
Yeah.
He has the eye of the tiger.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing.
It's funny how they didn't. Oh, I guess it's because
But they didn't play it.
Apollo said
Yeah,
Eye of the Tiger. But
exactly.
then why they should have made a song? Did they have a song called The Italian Stallion? They must in the album somewhere.
But yeah,
It's
three's the only,
Italian Stallion. It's the thrill of the main.
3's the only one that has Eye of the Tiger. The other ones do the running hard now.
Oh yeah, no, but that's still part of. Oh, I see what you. Yeah.
Going strong now.
Running faster.
Yeah, the lyrics are so bad.
Boxing
But it's great, though. It gets you
harder.
every time though.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Rocky 4 was my favorite. I think because I felt like there was so much more on the line after Apollo died, and it was more than just like Rocky having to overcome this guy for the sake of himself beating him, but he was kind of he was overcoming himself for somebody else, for somebody that he trained alongside, that he grew up as like a pro boxer with, and I don't know, maybe just the Drago. Sorry, not Drogo. We were talking about Drogo.
Count Drago.
Drago was a completely different adversary compared to all the other ones in the previous movies. Mm-hmm. You know, all the other ones had personality that made them really human, but Drago was he was so robotic, and I think maybe something about that as a kid I really liked that, you know, like human versus robot sort of thing. I knew that he wasn't really a robot, but my picture of my imagination of him, even while watching it as a kid, he just seemed like this robot to me, because then when they showed his training sequence, or no, not his training, when they were showing his testing sequence, they had him like hooked up to all these things, and they were like measuring his punches and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, whoa, this is so, like, he looks so mechanic and robotic, and he's also like this huge guy. So I guess like seeing Rocky overcome that, like for me, that was just so cool to watch. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, the moment when Creed and him have to hit gloves.
Yeah, and he gets like he's so scared, right?
Well, yeah, Creed slams his gloves, and his gloves don't
even move. That was great.
I love that moment. Oh. I don't think it's a coincidence that Rocky, like, I like all the movies for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a coincidence that as the Rocky series goes on, it becomes more like Dragon Ball Z than it does actually Rocky
Really?
initially. But if you think about it, like, Rocky himself becomes the Goku. He's like the very happy-go-lucky, everyone loves him kind of guy.
Right.
He's willing to do the strength training to then eventually take on the villain.
Yeah.
And when you've got Apollo Creed, who's the villain, who then becomes the like adversary.
Yeah.
Or wait, is adversary? No, team member. I guess?
Well, yeah.
He's very much the Vegeta kind of character, right? Like he's at first the enemy, and then he's like Goku's best friend, right?
Yeah.
And so now you've got Creed training Goku for the next challenge, and then you've got Creed who wants to go off and fight a challenge, but he's too headstrong, he's too selfish, too crazy, and then he gets in trouble, and then Goku has to save the day. It's so like I don't think it's a coincidence at all. I think they're very I think they're similar. And I think that there's a reason I like both these different things, right? Like there's something there clearly that I enjoy.
Such a good connection. Wow.
There's
good job.
I think the first and second Rocky movies are clearly different than all the other ones.
Yeah.
But there's this initial sense of you are rewarded for working hard. Every single Rocky movie has that. They're all about, I can't have something, I'll train incredibly hard for it, still can't have it, I'll push myself to the edge, now I can have it.
Yeah.
And then like this overwhelming feeling of I can't believe I have this now, and then credits, and then it's done, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one starts off with the theme and showing that you couldn't believe you had that, and then ripping you right down again, right? So it's amazing. Like it's so well done, and I feel like you could apply Rocky to life so easily, and you could be a bowler who just bowls all the time, and you want to beat the championship bowler, and you could have the exact same movie as Rocky. It doesn't need to be about boxing, but the fact that it is makes it really manly and intense and cool and fun to watch for sure.
Yeah.
But it could have been about knitting. It could have been about a Scrabble tournament. Like it could have been anything.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it was him working so hard for this.
Yeah.
And Rocky, especially in the first and the second movies, his personality just is great. I don't know what it is about Stallone, but he's got it. He's got something that everyone loves. Like you just want to be Rocky. You want to be around Rocky. You know a Rocky. It's like
he's very charismatic.
Yeah.
Right.
I love how he walks around the streets in New York and talks to everybody.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I was gonna make that exact same point. I was telling this to prior to watching Creed. Actually, I didn't even watch Creed until like a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
So, but prior to watching that, I wanted to make sure that, like, because my fiance also wanted to watch it, but I said to her, you have to watch all the Rocky movies before you watch this.
Yeah.
Like, you may not need it, but I want you to watch them. So we binged them for a week.
Oh, I'm so glad you did that.
And
That's awesome.
she's really glad we did this too.
Yeah.
Like, she loved them, which is great.
They're good movies. They're inspiring movies.
Yeah,
They're really good.
Definitely. And what I had this conversation with her about, I think it was straight off the first Rocky movie, and he's just walking in the streets of Philadelphia, like pretty much every other scene, and you see him interacting with any other person that's on the street, right? And like they all know him by name. He knows them by name.
It doesn't even have to be a human. It could be a bug.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, Eddie the bug. Yo, this is my pal, Eddie the bug.
Yeah.
He always greets me when I get back to my door. And
he's kind of like that comedian. What's his name? The guy from Caddyshack.
I didn't actually watch Caddyshack.
It's fine. It's good. Carry on.
Okay.
Carry on.
So I don't actually know what it's like in Philadelphia, nor do I know what it was like back in the 80s. Was that one? No, the first Rocky movie came out in the 70s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not until 4 when it gets really 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, back then, I mean, like, I have no idea. I don't have any personal reference to it, but just watching him walk down the streets gives me that nostalgic feeling.
Well, you can tell it's low budget. It's as if they literally just recorded and just went for it, And it feels like a living, breathing city at that moment.
It totally
it's almost
does.
like a snapshot of what it was like back then. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's if I was from Philadelphia, like I'd be watching these movies every day.
I'd be so happy to be from Philadelphia.
They're so patriotic. Yeah. They're so awesome.
I would run up those steps every day.
Yeah, there's a great feeling about them. They're really good movies. I honestly could talk about Rocky forever because I love this series. And now that the new one came out and I rewatched them all again, I was like, I can't believe how much I love this series. I watched it a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
My dad would always show us all the movies. We'd always get to 5, and he'd either skip 5 or we'd watch it because we'd like had to kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we knew it wasn't as good, but we're like, whatever, you know. And now that I've seen it so many times, like, oh, I can see some good part. I can see where it was trying to go.
Yeah.
And so I can see, that, but it's definitely the it's not very good. And Rocky Balboa, I think, actually was pretty good. It was almost like Stallone trying to say, like, this is my last, like, I want to end it on a good note.
Yeah.
And I think they did a good job with Rocky Balboa.
I think they did too, because they made it realistic. Like, he didn't win in the end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, which totally makes sense. Like, if he hasn't been in the game for this long, like, he can't just do this whole training montage all over again and then win. Like, that wouldn't make sense, right? So the fact that they made it realistic, I think, is good for them.
But then talking about reboots, which we've done in the past, and it's been hard to find a definition of a reboot truly.
Yeah.
And Creed is probably one of the best definitions of it, because Creed took Rocky and flipped it, but then redid the same story. It's really well done how they did that. You know,
Right.
like he's not Rocky. He's not broke. You know, and he's not super charismatic and loving and like deserves the world, but like can't have it kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's from like a rich family. I mean, he fought all the time, and he lost his parents at a young age. But he's he is ambitious. He's hungry. Like he wants to fight, kind of thing. And then he's not getting there, so he is stripped all the way down as a person, and has to build himself up. And man, I love how he just like. He's always pushing with Rocky. He's always just like, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, gotta do this. And he's like pushing so much further. He's a totally different style than Rocky, but it is a reboot. It hits the same beats as Rocky did. Like it even has like its whole running montage and everything the same way Rocky had it. So it's well done because it adds to Rocky's story as well as telling a whole new story with a different character. So.
Yeah. Do you know that he went through the whole boxer initiation that Rocky and whoever else went through during the movies?
No.
Like he actually got knocked out.
Oh wow!
By a pro boxer.
Oh.
So I can't remember which scene it was in the movie, but I remember Sylvester Stallone was on, I don't know, like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel or
one of the
Jimmy Neutron, I don't know. One of those, one of the Jimmys.
Hello folks.
So he was talking about how when they were actually going through the training with Michael B. Jordan. Of course, I say his full name, Michael B. Jordan.
Well, because if you said Michael Jordan, I was like, what?
Yeah. with MBJ.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Men in Black Jr.
that he, I guess, I don't know how Michael actually heard about this initiation or this ritual or tradition that they had during the filming, but then he said. He wanted to go through all the same training that Sylvester Stallone went through.
Right.
And I think that included getting knocked out by a pro boxer. And I don't know if that was for the sake of filming, but for the sake of acting, maybe? Or maybe for both. For the sake of really feeling what it is like to get knocked out, to take a hit from a pro boxer. And so, I think you can actually see it on YouTube that they're getting ready for the punch. You see Michael, like, he's swerving his body, and he's like, the pro boxer is like he's winding up his swing, and it almost looks like he's getting ready to like dodge it, and then he's gonna like counter it and punch or something, but he goes into the punch, and you see his body, like his head like snaps, his body just flails and just flops on the mat.
A lot of pressure on the boxer to not like
to do it properly, right? But I guess is that method acting? What would you call method acting? I don't really know.
It also seems like kind of like hazing for fun.
It's kind of like hazing.
It's like an initiation. I think it's cool.
I think it's kind of cool for the sake of like, you know, Rocky did have this whole. There's this big thing about Rocky movies and like how it's done and what you see when you watch it, and he wants to be part of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was cool.
Well, I just know that in the Rocky series, at least, Stallone constantly was trying to push himself to physically look more intense as the movies went on.
Oh,
and he was very specific about the types of muscles he wanted to have. He says in one of the interviews, he says they wanted to look like Tarzan. He wanted very defined muscles. He didn't want to be giant, like, you know, Arnold would be giant, but he wanted to make sure that he had very defined muscles, especially on like his pecs and all that. So, like a Tarzan, he said, like somebody you can beat his chest and like you would just see it all rippling, I guess. And that it was very specific how he wanted that. So he did his workout routine to make sure it was working on mostly, I guess, the certain types of muscles he wanted to find. As the series went on, he pushed himself like way too far. Like I think it was in the third one, he like really damaged himself. How much he pushed himself in the workouts. But now Michael B. Jordan seems to be doing the same thing. It's like for Creed 2, and this isn't spoilers at all, but he had to work out for the movie.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah.
And he had to like gain a bunch of muscle compared to the first movie. And in between all this was Black Panther.
Oh, right.
So there's the Black
But he was
Panther.
already pretty big in Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's always been fit, but
Yeah.
I mean, compared, if you watch Creed 1 to Creed 2, he's definitely changed. Like, he looks
Wow.
different. His face even looks different. It looks all different. So he's done some crazy, like, training for this, which I think these are the movies you have to do this kind of stuff for.
Yeah, that's
but,
true.
man, good on him.
Yeah, good for him. I think I heard him in an interview recently, or like today actually, that did he gain 20 pounds for, unless that was somebody else, but I think it was him that gained 20 pounds
it would
for
make
this.
sense.
And
Yeah, I think he would.
would it? Maybe
He
it's
looks
like,
entirely different. Like, I look at
Wow.
his face and I think he looks like a different person. It's interesting.
muscle wise or like fat wise or both? Or
Well, I think your face thickens up and looks a little bit fatter, but I wouldn't say he's fat at all.
okay,
But yeah, he just looks, he's more broad for sure. Like, his muscles are broader. Because in the first one, it's almost like he's a featherweight or something like that.
He
Like,
looked, yeah.
He's like slender looking, but I guess what are they? There's featherweight, welterweight, and heavyweight? Is that it?
There's probably
And I think,
there's like bantamweight.
oh, right, I don't know.
I don't really know
Well,
all
I
the
guess with
classes.
boxing, I guess it might be different too. I'm thinking UFC, but
Oh,
He's,
well, I don't know then. Yeah.
I don't really know all the terminologies, but whatever he is, he looks like he's the standard version to the lower, lighter version because he's very slim.
Okay.
And, like, he's really muscular, but he's very slim looking in the first one.
Yeah.
And the second one, it's like, oh wow, no, he's broad, he's huge.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. Killmonger was really broad, I felt.
Yeah, like I'm sure he was.
So he must have slimmed down for Creed then.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like,
No, I mean, I think Creed was before Black Panther, so he would have like built up.
Oh yeah, what am I talking
Creed,
about?
so,
Yeah.
And then he was training for Creed 2 during Black Panther, right? So, I would assume.
Oh, I get. Yeah, sure, probably. We can ask him. We'll just tweet.
Okay. Oh, you want to dial off right now?
We'll tweet him.
Hello, Michael? Did you? No. Okay, that's my topic. I don't know if you have any more to say about Rocky. Again, I could talk about this for hours. I'm sure it'll come up in the future. I just want to say, inspiring film series. And as I rewatched it, I was like, this may be one, if not my favorite film series. And I know that's just inspired right now because I just went and recently saw the movie and I'm all excited about it.
Yeah.
But it was really shocking going back throughout them all and having this emotional feeling through every movie and being like, this has been a series I've watched since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And kind of remembering all that and being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It matters to me now in an entirely different way than it did when I was a kid watching it. I used to watch it for, like you said, the superhero aspect of it, like watching the menacing cartoon figure that was the enemy.
Yeah.
And like Rocky gets to punch him out. And now I'm watching it for a totally different reason. I'm getting all these like psychological arguments out of all this. I'm like, this is a great series. I really like it. So
Can't wait to watch it. Oh,
so very good. But did you have anything else you want to say about Rocky before we head on to the next segment?
I'm sure, like you, there's tons of things I could say, but
Yeah.
I don't need to mention it right now.
I'm sure I'll be bringing it up more often as the future goes.
Sure.
Speaking of movies, real quick, I just want to say I just rewatched 300.
Okay.
And it's funny, my roommate was making fun of me for watching 300 because he's like, oh, that movie sucks. And I was like, that's so weird because I used to love that movie.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just fell off the face of the earth. I never thought about it again. And I just watched it again, and I was like, this is so good. So, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but we were talking about guilty pleasure movies. And I
wanna add
said
that in?
Troy, War of the Worlds, and Starship Troopers. Yeah, I'm throwing 300 in there.
Okay.
And in fact, I'm throwing 300 as the prequel to Troy. So watch 300, then watch Troy.
Interesting. Okay.
They kind of are connected anyway,
Right.
so.
Other than This Is Sparta.
Sparta.
By the way, this is Sparta.
Did you know?
The other scene the other line that just rings in my head and I think will forever be there is
Dialogue is so good.
it's just an eye.
It's just an eye.
Yeah. Isn't
Oh, you mean Faramir when he's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
what's
such a
his name?
sweet line.
Oh.
It's just an eye.
I like the our arrows will blot out the sun, and then he says we'll fight in the shade.
Oh yeah, that's a cool line.
Or when they're like drop your weapons, he's like come and take them. Like, or when it's like he's like you there. What is your profession?
Oh.
It's like, I'm a butcher. Butcher. Spartans, what is your profession? And then they're just like woo woo. They just go crazy. It's
Yeah.
like yes.
It's a very testosterone-y.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, I should mention this about Rocky real quick. Tangent back to Rocky. Yeah. I could not watch Rocky sitting down. I had to stand up during the fight scenes. Every time he was in the
Were you
ring.
cheering? Like, get him, Rocky.
Kind of, yeah. Got really into it. But,
He's gonna put you there, duck.
well, it was intense, especially the first and second one, watching him fight Creed, Apollo Creed at least. Man, it got so good.
Oh,
it got so good that I'm just like, I was on the edge of my seat, and then I was off my seat, standing watching. I was like, this is amazing.
Falling off your seat.
But yeah.
Yeah, good movies.
Okay, let's move on to the Scumm Bar spinner.
All right.
Spin to win. Oh.
We
I
love
just recently changed my browser over. I posted on Twitter, actually. I changed over to Firefox and DuckDuckGo because Google freaked
Oh, that's
out.
right. Yeah.
So I don't actually have the link to the spinner. So we're going to roll the dice like we used to in the day.
Cool.
Back in the day. So while I read off these, why don't you give us our theme song?
Like the actual theme or the theme for the Wheel of Scum?
The Wheel of Scum theme. You did it last time.
But
The Wheel of Scum theme. There we go. All right, so on the Wheel of Scum, the first thing that we could have is Pirate Adventure. We could also have Shakespeare in a BR. We could roll for Parlay OK or A Haunting Tale of Woe. Or how about Who Wants to Be Scum Millionaire? Or what about Swashbuckler? All this and more on the Wheel of Scum. Think about this. Actually, last time we did Parlay OK, so that's off the table up.
Okay.
So today, the tableau is with these other 5 ones. Okay. Why don't you roll the dice?
Oh, she's sorry. Whoa, sorry. I was trying to make a really cool way to do that. Which almost worked. It did not work here.
Oh my god. For anybody at home. So Anth0z just knocked water over the table and went onto the laptop.
I hope it didn't get on your laptop.
I don't know. The mics. We're gonna build an ark soon. It's getting kind of crazy in here. Collecting all the animals.
You could also put it somewhere else where it's dry.
No. That would not make any sense at all. We'll be right back after a short break.
Should open it and get. I think it was just under, right?
Jumanji!
Like the original Jumanji.
Okay.
So there's a scene where
the dice.
Robin Williams wants to get the dice back from one of the kids.
Yeah.
Like he's too scared to roll, and so he's like, "I'll roll it for you." It's either her or Kristen Swanson.
Isn't that the boy? The boy doesn't want to roll. He's too
Yeah,
scared.
he's too scared. Yeah.
He's like, oh.
And so then, so he's about to hand it over to him, and then he like opens his hands and the dice misses.
Oh my god.
Which is what I tried to do. I totally failed.
Yeah. It was, so yeah, you let the dice drop, and then you tried to catch the dice or grab it when it was rolling, and then as you went to grab it, you hit your glass, which then
No, I think what happened was like as I opened my hand, like this was I don't know. It was over here. So I opened my hand like this, and I knocked the glass this way.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Okay. As long as let me know if anything is damaged with your laptop.
No, my dad.
Pay for whatever I need to.
No. Actually, could I have the topper upper?
I will fill you up.
Thank you, sir. I guess this is our little break.
Guess so. I want to do it right in front of the mic.
That was good. You remember the exact theme song.
Well, it's because it's from something.
Why don't you spin, and by that I mean roll the dice.
I'm going to do it over here.
Away from the watt there.
Yep.
What'd you get?
1.
Oh, did you actually?
I did.
Wow, that's Pirate Adventure.
All right.
We've never done Pirate Adventure before.
Okay.
So, Pirate Adventure, let me go through the brief description.
Okay.
It's time to embark on your new pirate adventure.
Your new car.
Da-da-da-da-da. Get ready, as Mattbrush will tell you further instructions, which I have on this page over here.
All right.
This is a first in the Scumm Bar. I'm excited.
Cool.
Okay. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Introduction. You open your eyes, cold, wet, and waterlogged. You are lying face deep in the sand, waves crashing all around you. It's midnight. The moon is shining brightly against the water. You can barely make out the tree line on the shore. The wind is calm, but creates small gusts that blow the sand around your face. What do you do?
I look around. Well, how long?
Looking around you see more shoreline.
Okay.
You see trees,
What the?
some rocks. You can hear some birds in the
It's an
distance.
RPG. I definitely don't say anything. I don't want to draw attention to myself. Am I wet?
You are wet.
I'm wet.
You're soaked. You're cold.
Okay, I start shivering.
Okay, you shiver for a little bit.
Okay.
A crab scuttles past you.
Okay. I follow the crab skull to see if it leads me to food.
The crab is scuttling across the beach. You notice that the crab is scuttling over towards more rocks.
Okay, I go to the rocks. I stand on the rocks and see what I can see.
From the rocks, you can see way down the beach, there is a faint light of a campfire and some smoke.
I slowly go towards it, but I try to stay in darkness.
Ooh.
So as though not to be seen by unwanted eyes.
You start creeping through the darkness. Cold, wet, and alone, you walk slowly.
Are you making this up or are you reading this?
No, I'm reading all this.
What? Oh, how does this work? Okay.
And towards the light of the campfire and the smoke.
Okay.
As you're walking, you hear a small scream in the trees to your left.
A small scream.
A quiet scream.
So therefore it's far away?
Far away.
Oh, I see. A faint scream. Okay.
Is what I meant to say.
Okay.
A faint scream to your
right
left.
to my left is a very small scream.
Meanwhile, in front of you and way off to your right is the shoreline and the faint light of the campfire, the smoke.
Okay. I grab some rocks. Like one in each hand. How big are they? I grab 2 rocks, like each one are like the size of my palm, so that way I can use them as weapons.
Are they sharp?
Are they dirty? No, don't. I like them dirty. Yes, the Friends reference. I did it. Yes. All right, cool. Sorry.
Perfect.
Sure. One is sharp and one is very smooth and round because I have better grip.
Okay.
So I keep them with me and I stay in the darkness as a wait. No, do I want to do this? I think about it for a little bit. I don't want to be seen. Yeah, so I stay in the darkness and I go towards the small scream.
The small scream, okay.
The small scream.
You head towards the small scream. You start moving through the trees in this forest. You're now in a very dark forest you can barely see.
Okay.
Trees all around, bushes. It's really hard to bushwhack through this. You're creeping through this forest and towards where you heard the scream. There is a silhouette fairly close to you, about 10 feet in front of you.
Whoa.
And you just it came out of nowhere. You were like, oh my god. But you can't really make out what the silhouette is. It's very dark and hard to see. What do you do?
I go around and try to get behind it. Oh, no. I go around and see if I can... I go completely like around it till I get back to my point. Or whenever...
You do a 360 around the silhouette?
Is that... I guess that's kind of like doing
or
a 360.
a circle?
Like...
Around the perimeter?
Yes.
Perimeter check. Roll for perimeter check.
I do a perimeter check, or I just keep walking around until I can make out the face.
Okay.
Or make out something of the silhouette.
You slowly creep around the silhouette.
Okay.
As you creep around it, you position yourself in a way where the moonlight seems to shine a little bit
moonlight, yeah.
onto what this silhouette is, and it slowly starts to reveal that it is a face.
Uh-huh.
The face of a man.
Mm-hmm.
But his eyes look pale.
Okay.
His tongue is out of his mouth a little bit, and around his neck is a rope.
Well, I'm definitely not going there. So, another perimeter check. No, I take my smooth rock and throw it at the body, the silhouette.
It makes a thud. Kind of sounds like this. And then it hits the ground.
Because that sound couldn't have been replicated by anything other than you slapping your own face. Okay, so sorry. It makes a sound like that, and then the body stays there.
The rock hits the ground.
The rock hits the ground.
The body remains motionless.
So I've lost my rock. Okay. Okay. Nothing else happened. Like nobody else has moved.
Nothing else. You heard some birds in the distance.
Okay.
There's a faint rustling in the bushes.
Oh, now there's a faint rustling.
If you take your time, then I'm just going to change the script.
Which direction are they?
It's towards you, to your right.
Towards me, too.
Sorry, if you're facing forward, it's to your right.
Okay, how many feet?
6 feet.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I put the sharp rock into my right hand because that's my stronger hand.
Nice, wise choice.
And then as I turn towards that direction to my right, I place my left foot in front because that's my stance for when I'm about to strike.
The bushes rustle louder, and a very short, stout-looking man comes out of the bushes, looking at you, shocked, kind of confused, and he goes, "Ah, it sounds like that.
Okay.
What do you do?
I say, Uncle George, what are you doing here?
Suddenly, a very forceful knock hits you in the back of your head,
Man.
and you pass out.
Oh, I knew I should have kept both rocks.
Oh man, you never want to see Uncle George because he'll end it right away.
Did I die? I guess I don't know.
To be continued next time on...
Oh.
What's this called again? Pirate Adventure.
The ghetto version.
Apparently, yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
I was sweating.
So that's Pirate Adventure for you.
Okay.
I plan on continuing the series. I've got notes. So
Cool.
this is
So it's
to,
going to continue from that every time we... Whoa.
I've got an actual outline in my head of this story,
Okay.
but you are dictating the story as you go. So it's not... I'm not making it, really. I'm just making an outline. I'm making the lore, and you're making the actual story. So,
Wow.
so there you go.
Oh, cool.
Thank you for playing along.
Wow, good job for writing that.
I only wrote the beginning.
Still.
You wrote the rest.
Well, good job for narrating the rest of it. That was cool.
No problem. And it's kind of nice because it's teamwork too, so we're kind of working back and forth off each other. So
That was enjoyable.
Pirate. That's why I've been excited for Pirate Adventure this whole time. It took till episode 12.
Wow.
That's 12 rolls until we finally hit it.
Yeah. And we've had to double a couple of them. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, we only recently added the rule of not doing it from last week. So,
Yeah.
There you go. Anyways, let's move on to your topic docket. Would you know your topic docket?
I might have to look at the schedule.
Yeah, because I don't remember.
The schedule.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we're just going to do this.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Okay. So Disney remakes. I was thinking about this when.
Like what we were talking about earlier?
Well, it's sort of, yeah. Like,
Why do we keep doing that? Every time, you have a topic, we end up bringing it up in the news section.
I only thought about it. Why did I think about it? Well, actually, I did think about it because of The Lion King.
Okay.
And then, what else made me think about it? I don't know if Wreck-It Ralph made me think about it, because there's that scene where they have all these CGI princesses.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they have the whole thing's in CGI. But
Actually, that's a good point. It is kind of on people's minds right now, isn't it? Just like Disney films, in general, and like remakes, and the old school Disney, and now them remaking with new ones. So.
Yeah, so my thinking was that they've been doing, or they have done a lot of remakes based on Disney movies. I don't know how much were like just 100% Disney, or they were just meant to be like related. But what was like the Huntsman movie, Snow White and the Huntsman?
Oh yeah.
Was that a Disney movie?
I think it was, because that's part of the Maleficent movie series, isn't it? Are they all connected?
Oh, like actually they're in the same timeline?
Oh, maybe they're not connected. I always get Maleficent mixed up with... wait. Which one's Sleeping Beauty? Is that Maleficent?
Yes.
I get that mixed up with Snow White. And the queen, the Mad Queen in that one.
Oh.
They look like the same person to me sometimes, so I always forget that they're different. So anyways, I know the Maleficent series with Angelina Jolie is Disney.
Yeah.
I don't know about Snow White and the Husband.
She finally gets married.
Snow White and the Husband. It wasn't as fun. It was really boring, actually. But
She married Grumpy.
yeah.
Okay, so what I was thinking, it just had to do with the fact that they're remaking. I can think of more live action remakes, and now Lion King is all CGI that I know of.
I mean, they're live action. Like it's an easy way to say it. And they're all in that category.
So what I was thinking is, do you think it's better for them to? Actually, what was I thinking? I feel like I would be happier to see more like completely CGI remakes of the cartoon versions as opposed to watching the live action, completely
like
live
Frozen.
action movies.
Or like Tangled kind of.
Well, I don't know.
CGI,
Frozen isn't really like a remake of anything.
No, I mean that animation style.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know why. Something about it. When I think of the Disney movies, I think of how obviously yes, they're cartoon, and cartoons they have more. There's more. What's the word? Freedoms, or they have more something abilities. There's a word in there that makes sense.
Possibilities.
Sure. Okay. Liberties. They can take different liberties than a live action movie can. Like and specifically thinking about the Avatar, the Last Airbender remake of the Nickelodeon cartoon,
right?
Where they pretty much like it was all live action, like real people that tried to do a cartoon remake, and they're trying to act like the cartoon,
right?
But it just does not work. And I didn't. Sorry, what is this?
No.
Okay. I didn't actually watch Maleficent or Snow White and the Huntsman. I watched Beauty and the Beast, and I think it was cool to see, like, it was live action with the mixture of CGI, but I almost feel like I may have enjoyed it more if the whole thing was CGI, because they probably could have portrayed a lot of the scenes better, or maybe just when I think of doing when I think of watching a remake, I do want to see shot for shot, but maybe like some differences that would just make the story better based on like today's modern world or like the modern time or whatever. Anything that wouldn't make sense in that movie. I don't know. I guess that's pretty much it. Like I didn't really like Beauty and the Beast too much. I think I enjoyed a bit of it. I don't know. It didn't strike me as like, oh, this was like a really, really good remake of a Disney movie. And with The Lion King, I think I'm expecting it to be, but only because it's all CGI, and I feel like they can do so much more with completely CGI as opposed to like having, not like there could be real people in it, or they could hire real lions. Yeah.
There's probably a good argument for that. That's
and I don't have it, but
no, but I mean like the kind of what you're saying though. If it was CGI'd entirely, or if it was animated entirely, then there's more you can do with that than having live action.
Well, I think so. I mean, you could probably argue either way. But
it makes sense, because with live action actors, there's a certain tone you're going to have.
Yeah.
You can't have the exact Belle from Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. You can have a Belle, like the Dark Knight with Joker. It's like you can't have Joker from the cartoon series. You have the Dark Knight Joker, Heath Ledger, because if you go too cartoony, now you're going too weird, and people aren't going to be able to understand a live action version of that. You have a Jack Nicholson who's trying, and he's not necessarily bad, he just can't be the exact Joker.
Yeah.
But then when you have Heath Ledger come in and say, hey, here's a Joker that you might actually see in real life.
Yeah.
That's a way more interesting thing. It's something that you want to do with live action actors. So when you take Belle from the cartoon and put her as a live action person, you say this is a Belle that you could almost actually see in real life. Maybe not totally, but you can almost see her as a real person. And there's a lot to be said about that. That's actually really interesting, and I never thought about that before. But I think I'm one of the few, well, maybe not few, but I do hear a lot from people that they didn't like Beauty and the Beast. My girlfriend and I went and saw it, and I really liked it. I don't know what it is, but I really liked that movie. But I think it's because I didn't watch the cartoon that much.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it was kind of just a new story I was getting into, and I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
But, if they remake Hercules, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson's playing Hercules or something, I'm sure it'd be fun, but I'm not going to have the same feeling.
No, definitely not.
Watched it, it's going to be totally different. So, I kind of like what you're saying about the CGI stuff and making a CGI version, and I think a really good parallel to that is, did you play the new Crash Bandicoot remake?
No, I didn't, but I saw reviews on YouTube and stuff like that.
I could see it going along those lines, where the critiques to that game. So what happened was there was original, for anybody who doesn't know, on the original PlayStations back in like the early 90s, Crash Bandicoot came out as an old school platforming game made by Naughty Dog. And then PS4 recently, Sony remade the games, or published it from, I don't know if it was Naughty Dog, I think it was a third-party developer, came in and they republished the games, but they took the code, I believe they kept like the same code, but they just updated all the graphics. And the graphics were really intensely enhanced to be like, the textures were all PlayStation 4 textures. So what people were saying when they critiqued the game is that this is how your childhood remembers it. Which is so true, and I think there's a lot to that, because like when you think of nostalgia, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
In nostalgia, everything is way better than when you actually see the thing from your childhood, right?
Okay, your memory kind of fills in gaps or fills in details. And
when you're a kid, you don't know what's better. Or not even when you're a kid, but when you don't know what's better, that's as good as it gets. And then when you see better and you look back, it's different. But this was a remake of the original, all the exact same everything, is just the graphics were enhanced. So when you're playing it, you're like, wow, this looks fantastic. Yeah. But at the same time, you're like, this is Crash Bandicoot that I knew from before. Yeah. So there's this weird thing that happens where, you're seeing your childhood almost the way that, without the sadness of the nostalgia and it being old and not looking all that good anymore. Now, the weird thing about that parallel is that with Disney movies is, from what I hear, I'm not an animator, but from what I hear about animators, is that the Disney movies are very good. And I don't know if, like in my head, if you took the Frozen CGI or what is that? Computer, is it CGI? I guess that's
CGI.
Yeah. So you take Frozen CGI, that animation style and you redid Lion King with that style, in my head that would be fantastic. It would look so good and it would be better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Would it? Because
well, it's hard.
Animators might be like, yeah, but Lion King is so good for cartooners, right? So it's hard to say. It's like, well, yeah, just making 3D doesn't make it better.
No,
but
doesn't.
I feel like it would though. So I would totally be aboard that train if they were like, we're redoing, even if it went all the way back, like we're redoing Snow White.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it with the Tangled animation, like 'cause I think Tangled was more like a Disney film. I'd be on board right away. I'd go see that right away. Like I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Especially if it was like shot for shot remake exactly how I remember it. Maybe even all the same audio too. But the graphics are now done with the CGI of that, and all we're doing is re-releasing it and throwing it in the theaters now, so you can go see it again. I'd be all for it. I would go see that in a heartbeat. In fact, like you said, Wreck-It Ralph, seeing the old princesses again with that style, I think that does kind of pique the interest of people, and they're like, "Oh, that would be interesting."
Yeah,
yeah, because it actually, it's interesting. Because Pocahontas shows in that, doesn't she? She's like CGI.
Yeah, like all the princesses are in that. Yeah,
that's really interesting. I never, it's funny. I saw that scene, and I didn't even think about that. The fact that they're all CGI now in that trailer. That's weird.
They're all in that one scene.
They're that well done though that you could point them all out and be like, oh yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah.
And like it didn't even matter to me. Like it was just sort of like, oh yeah, there they are.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the fact that they're all CGI now. But that is really intriguing. I would definitely see that. So
okay.
It's fun.
I feel like you just convinced yourself, but that's
I'm realizing it here on the podcast as I mentioned it. But it's funny because I am wondering what's missing about these live action films. But yeah, I'm wondering maybe they're just doing them wrong.
I don't think it's that they're doing it wrong. I mean, there's, like I said, when you have a CGI, when something is like animated, you can take so many more liberties because it's animated. Whereas like with real people, you can't really do stuff like that. I have a couple examples now.
Okay.
So, Space Jam, real people with cartoons in the same scenes.
Yep.
And sometimes they tried to have the real people mimic cartoon effects.
Right.
So, for example, who's Bill
Murray?
No, not Bill. Did Bill Murray? He might have done some stuff too. But the guy from Jurassic Park who opens the can in the beginning of the movie. He's got
Jeff
like curly hair. No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Glasses, big curly hair.
Not Jeff Goldblum.
I feel like he's also in Seinfeld.
Oh, you're talking about Newman from Seinfeld.
Yeah, Newman. Yeah. Wayne Knight.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
at one point, so Wayne Knight is also in Space Jam. He's like Michael Jordan's agent, right? And at one point,
he gets blown up.
He gets blown up. He also gets flattened.
Yeah.
And it looks so weird because he's a real person. Like you can't have a real person do these things because it's not a cartoon. So
he ain't a tune.
He ain't a tune.
No.
He ain't loony. Well, he's a bit loony. So when you see stuff like that, when they mesh it in like that, it feels so separated. It doesn't seem succinct. That makes sense, right? When you see stuff like I'm thinking, okay, in like Ice Age, there's that raccoon who's got his own like side story, and the squirrel, and when he's trying to get his acorn or nut or whatever it is, like he has to like fit different shapes in order to get through cracks in the rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really funny you mentioned Ice Age. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Is Ice Age the weird like sliding things through the tunnels and all that and it all lines up perfectly, but it's like because it's animation.
Exactly, it's animation. And another one I was thinking of is I don't know yet, but I expect we will see a lot of that too. Actually, before I mention that, I have a friend, he's an animator, and he was telling me about some animation differences, so specifically with anime. So some writers have different style, or some animators have different styles in how they draw and how they fit the scenes together, or how they show movement, like humans that are moving in the scene. Like they do them differently. So a couple scenes in Naruto were done by different artists, and their animation is so different. It's very unrealistic, but if it works well, obviously because it's a cartoon, it doesn't really matter, right? But so where you'll see some scenes, they're moving, they're walking just like an ordinary human because they are human characters in a cartoon. You'll have some other fight scenes where while their feet are running, their arms are like waving behind them, and it looks kind of like at first sight maybe it'll look weird, but then like the animation gives it like such a different effect. And when you see them fighting like that, it makes it so much more intense because they're able to move so much more differently from how live people move, and so you create tension from the animation as opposed to creating tension from the story or the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're just showing different intentions, right? So Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is all CGI, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I think because we'll get to see, like, Spider-Man has so many abilities when he's web slinging, right? We've always seen like a human version of him, and even if he slaps into a wall, like they'll mimic a human effect where it's like you see like the thud and shake him, whatever, and like he'll kind of just like rebound.
Yeah.
But like maybe we'll see something like if he were to splat on the ground, like his body might even like flatten ever so slightly,
right?
The way that a cartoon would, but not a human would, because humans can't do that specifically.
Right.
And that might create that'll just create the effect where it looks like it makes sense, whereas when a human were to mimic that, like, it wouldn't make sense, but they try to do it, like, it wouldn't.
I don't know if my mind right now. This is really interesting stuff. I really like this.
I don't know if I explained that very clearly.
No, I get it though. I totally get it. I can see like if he hits the ground really hard, there'd be like a ripple in his body or something like that. Like it would be very cartoonish.
Something like that, and like it would be like a funny effect, but like you know, like it's not a serious thing for him to. It wouldn't be a serious scene anyway, right?
Wow.
Maybe it would be a serious scene.
And I think actually when it's trying to be cartoonish, but it's only live action, it's so jarring. And my example would be The Hobbit in Desolation of Smaug when they're going through their barrels, the barrel ride.
Oh,
so that had the most complaints out of the whole movie because people found it so unrealistic.
It was,
And it's because it was trying to be kid-like and cartoony.
Right.
And like the whole bouncing around in the barrel and all that kind of stuff, it was very cartoony looking, and it was comedic like a cartoon, but didn't play well because it's live action.
Exactly.
Right? So it didn't really make any sense, and everything was too perfect. It just seemed wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting because that's something that the Disney ones might actually suffer from if they are live action remakes.
Yeah.
But last thing I want to kind of mention though is that maybe I'm not enjoying these live action remake ideas as much because I don't necessarily think the movies need to be remade.
No, it's true.
But I love the idea that we all get to be excited about these properties again. Like the fact that The Lion King is coming out again is very awesome and a time to be celebrated because we get to hear the music again and all talk about it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's just not really what I want. I don't really want to go see a live action version of what I already saw. But man, like you were saying earlier, if we had the CGI ones, we'd be able to go and celebrate these things exactly how they were. Like still Matthew Broderick, still to be unknown child actor who plays Simba that we don't actually know, but you know.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No, it's Haley Joel Osment.
It's already sure. it's either way. It's a 3 named kid.
It was Tom Cruise actually. I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise played Simba, young Simba.
Yeah.
But I just man, now I want to see that. Like, now I want to go back in time. And I regret the call I made to Disney and when I told them that they should do live action films. I should have said you should do CGI remakes.
Well, we'll call Michael because I'm sure he's got an in anyway.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
The actual
Michael B. Jordan though.
Oh.
Well, you can call either one. I'm sure they both have an in somehow.
Yeah. Well,
Just call Michael on your speed dial. One of them will pick up.
Okay.
And then.
Is this the Mike we fired?
No, we fired Mike, not Michael.
Oh, okay. I thought he was formal though. They work for Disney.
Those are different people.
Okay. Well, he's a microphone operator at Disney now.
Yeah. Mike is the microphone operator. Because that's why his name is Mike.
Interesting. That really piqued my interest. That's
cool.
I never thought about that before. But that's very interesting. Good point.
Thank you.
Very good observation.
Donkey, like...
Donkey?
Like D-A-N-K-E. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
D-A-N-K-E.
D-A-N-K-E.
Oh, Donka.
Is it Donka? Oh, it is Donka.
Donka.
It is Donka.
Like you're saying like donkey.
Whenever you know what? Whenever
Don Quixote.
Whenever I say it to people, I probably sound like Shrek calling donkey.
That's
donkey.
what you were saying. Donkey. Say what?
Sorry, Donka. Yeah, Donka.
I thought you were saying that I sounded like Shrek. What? Anyways, Anth0z, that's a wrap.
All right.
That's not the sound of a wrap.
I don't know what.
Where can the audience find you?
Well, I'm at home right now.
Oh,
so. But when I'm not at home, or even when I am at home, and anywhere I am, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That is ANTH0Z1.
If you'd like to talk to me instead of Anth0z, you can find me at Mattbrush Gaming on Twitter. If you'd like to watch this in video format, you can go to mattbrushgaming at youtube.com and search us up there because we have all the podcasts available in YouTube format there as well. But if you want to listen to this in a regular podcast form, you can just go to any podcast host like Podbean, like Stitcher, like iTunes, like Spotify, like SoundCloud. And that's
Mattbrush's computer.
Ooh.
Listen straight from the computer.
You could just connect right into my TeamViewer account and just click on the thing. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Please leave a comment and a like. 5 stars.
Please.
5 stars.
Please.
5 stars.
Please.
Do you have anything to say, Anth0z?
We didn't even drink today, and we
No,
we have all this great energy.
I know, it's natural. This is the water here.
I think we've just conditioned ourselves now. When we meet and we sit at this table,
We
we sit in we greet, and we sit at each other's seats.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we eat.
Sometimes our feet.
Oh, our feet meet.
Will meet. I think we've conditioned ourselves to feel the way we normally feel when we drink while we talk.
Say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. That's it.
Magic school bus.
Magic school bus.
What was the thing you said?
Oh, baked into a pie.
Perfect.